Hey guys, Eddie here with a film you've probably never seen. If you've lived on this planet longer than 10 seconds, you've probably heard of a certain media conglomerate by the name of Disney. During the last century, the company has been responsible for the creation of countless film and television properties. Each year they release more and more titles via an ever-expanding list of divisions and subsidiaries. Despite the immense popularity of the Disney brand, a number of these releases are inevitably either overlooked or forgotten by the vast majority. Such is the case with the 1974 film, The Island at the Top of the World. The film was directed by Disney veteran Robert Stevenson, who is more widely known for directing classics such as Mary Poppins and The Love Bug. The film was loosely based on the 1961 novel The Lost Ones, written by Donald G. Payne using the pseudonym Ian Cameron. In 1974, to tie in with the film's release, the novel was reissued with the title changed to The Island at the Top of the World. The plot revolves around a British aristocrat named Sir Anthony Ross as he searches for his missing son, who disappeared in the Arctic while searching for the legendary Graveyard of Whales. Sir Anthony employs the help of archaeologist Professor John Ivison, and together they embark on a search and rescue expedition. Along the way, they're joined by Captain Brieux and his French airship Hyperion, as well as an Eskimo named Umiak. When they finally reach the Arctic, they accidentally stumble upon a lost colony.
Their weapons, their clothes, their whole appearance, they're Viking. Vikings?
We're Vikings, what do you know? The terrors of the sea. We're Vikings, wherever we go, pillaging happily.
That's an obscure reference most people won't get. The group are then forced to flee for their lives through some of the most extreme environments in the world. There are several notable differences between the film and its source material. For example, the novel was set in 1960, while the film takes place in 1907. This particular change actually works in the film's favour, as the turn-of-the-century setting added a greater sense of the unknown than the far more familiar previous decade. Even today, the changing world of 1907 is far more mysterious and exciting. Arguably the film's greatest asset is its characters, or perhaps more accurately, its cast. Each demonstrates a unique personality, and their various interactions are thoroughly entertaining. The dynamic and chemistry between the two leads is particularly compelling.
But if there were such an island, if the Graveyard of Whales really did exist...
The world will never know, will it? Unless you discover it, or unless someone else beats you to it.
Sir Anthony, you're a devious man.
Yes, I am, aren't I?
Sir Anthony's passionate nature and unshakable resolve are well balanced by Ivison's level-headed, more considered approach.
I'll see that he talks all right.
I think you'd better let me handle him. You've never dealt with Eskimos. They have a sort of diplomacy all their own.
Blasted Ivison, anyone would think I had no tact.
The fact Sir Anthony essentially recruits the other characters allows the screenwriter to mask some necessary exposition early on.
I'm hardly a professional explorer.
No. Let me finish. I've had you looked into.
Oh?
You're an American from the University of Minnesota, currently a guest lecturer at the University of Christiania. Your speciality is the archaeology of the North. In the past, you've led several successful expeditions. You've done some very interesting work in Greenland. Oh, no. You're the right man for the job, all right.
The obnoxiously patriotic Captain Brieux easily steals every scene he is in.
Gentlemen, may I remind you that I am in command here. Only an idiot would attempt such a thing. I will do it myself.
While the character was clearly intended as comic relief, he also demonstrates a softer, more emotional side at times.
I'm not a man of stone. There are times when the heart must rule the head.
His presence also introduces a new element to the group dynamic, as he often clashes with Sir Anthony.
You ask me to fly the ship without a mechanic?
But you have me. Just tell me what to do.
I could tell you what to do, monsieur, but you wouldn't do it.
Every character is well-rounded and believable. Ivison feels especially authentic. The Professor is a veritable fountain of knowledge throughout.
Muskox!
What are they doing?
They're forming a defensive ring. They think we're attacking them.
His academic enthusiasm never wavers.
This is like an archaeologist's dream. To go back in history and walk the earth as it was 10 centuries ago.
I suggest you forget the past and start thinking about the future, which from the look of things, I'd say is not very promising.
While most of the cast never achieved mainstream acclaim, there was one actor who went on to have a fairly successful career. Mako, who plays Umiak, is especially remembered for his voice acting, including providing the original voice of Iroh in the popular Nickelodeon animated series, Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Please sit. Why don't you enjoy a cup of calming jasmine tea?
Despite being over 40 years old, the film is notably fast-paced. For example, within 5 minutes of the opening titles, the action changes locations a total of 5 times. As soon as characters leave one location, the editing almost immediately propels them forward to the next. In fact, it feels like every few minutes there's either an exciting moment or a change of location, or both. However, this is never done at the expense of either heart or character development. The story never feels rushed. The film adopts a darker, more serious tone when appropriate. However, there is a lot of humour included throughout. Fans of Disney will likely recognise the tone.
They all look reasonable enough. Might be my board of directors, if it weren't for their outlandish costumes.
There is a lot of non-English dialogue spoken without subtitles. This is sometimes translated on screen by other characters. However, a lot of the time, the audience is simply trusted to infer what is being said based on context.
Godt vi valgte dagen I dag til jakta.
Ja, hadde vi ikke kommet på det nå, kunne jeg funnet veien inn I Kaupangen.
Do you understand their language?
It's Norse.
In actual fact, the Vikings speak a mixture of modern Scandinavian languages. They were played by Norwegian, Swedish, Danish, and Icelandic actors, all speaking their native languages.
Vi komne for å lete etter einde. Kalar Donald Ross.
Donald?
Perhaps the film's greatest deterrent is its limited budget and dated visual effects. It is an undeniably cheap film. The use of stock footage, matte paintings, and compositing are noticeable throughout. However, these elements actually add to the film's overall charm. The filmmakers utilize these techniques well to achieve an impressive sense of scale. Rather than overextending themselves, they also use a number of simple yet effective techniques, such as smoke or clever framing, to hide the limits of smaller sets and let viewers' imaginations fill in the blanks. Similarly, uncomplicated methods are also used to create atmosphere. Though noticeable, especially to those familiar with filmmaking, the effects add to the sense of the unknown. I'd actually be interested in seeing a cut of the film in black and white. Certain technical shortcomings actually work in the film's favour. For example, poor compositing in this scene causes the background flames to appear in the goater's eyes, further emphasising the character's threatening appearance. One aspect that doesn't disappoint is the model work, especially the miniatures used for the Hyperion. The airship deserves a place among the iconic vessels of cinema.
Made your point, Captain. There's no need to overdo it.
Another method used to create scale and atmosphere is music. The film's score perfectly encapsulates the narrative's spirit of adventure. The recurring musical themes effectively set the emotional tone of each scene. There are several dialogue-free sequences which allow the music to take centre stage. The film successfully mixes themes of love and loyalty into an uncomplicated fun time. This is pure old-fashioned adventure through and through. The film's ending is somewhat poignant, perhaps even a little thought-provoking. Disney initially planned a sequel titled The Lost Ones. However, these plans were abandoned when The Island at the Top of the World failed to perform at the box office. The film is still available through Amazon and Amazon Video. You can access both links in the description below, and if you do, you'll be helping out the channel. Obviously, I recommend you all check it out. I personally love this film, and it would be great to see it receive wider recognition. If you have seen it, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. If you liked this video, why not give it a thumbs up? Maybe share it with a friend. or an enemy. Either way, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications to see more content here on Channel 73.